without any further ado, we are going to launch our first giveaway for the day. That will be popping up in chat along with instructions for you to use. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and I'm going to turn it over now to our incredible, jerseyed up ILF ambassadors.
Hey everybody, and welcome to ILFest. I have the pleasure of hanging out with a bunch of wonderful ambassadors this morning, and I think that it would probably be pertinent for us to go around the room and just introduce ourselves. Phillip, would you like to start?
Sure. I'm Phillip Wylie. I'm a pen tester and the founder of the Pwn School Project. And I found out about ILF through Rachel Toback several years ago. And I would originally start out doing like fundraisers, t-shirt fundraisers of Pwn School t-shirts to raise money for the Innocent Lives Foundation. I think it's a really awesome cause. And I've met some really cool people that run the organization. They really treat us ambassadors well. And, it's just not like we're just a person, an empty shell or whatever. They just really respect and show us a lot of love. And it's awesome to get to work with all the other great ambassadors. Through ILF, I've got to meet some really cool people. Alethe is one of them, and Jonathan and Jake. Joe and I, we knew each other prior to that, but it's a really great cause and a lot of good people to work with. And I think if you should, one of the things too is you should donate what you can. If you can't, one of the things that's a big help too is awareness, getting the awareness out there.
All right, Joe B, the blind hacker. I run Dead Pixel, and we over at Dead Pixel, we love ILF. I actually heard about ILF kind of in its infancy when Chris started talking about wanting to do anything like this, and it appealed to me because at the time I did a lot of volunteer work with formerly like Hackers for Charity and things like that, where I reached out to any charity that I could that would let me come teach computer security awareness training, that would let me do a pen test, that would let me do any form of cybersecurity or anything I could do for them. And then he started talking about like, hey, like bouncing these ideas off, and some of them were similar to that, but then it became this whole organization. And as I met all the other ambassadors and got to saw the organization grow, I was, hey, I really like to get in on this now. And fortunately, they welcomed me with open arms.
And I'm Jonathan Younie. Everybody calls me Younie. Nobody calls me John. You don't have to. John's too generic. So everybody calls me Younie, and that's why you'll see if anybody mentions Uni Zoomies or anything like that in the chat. That's all. That's all my famous last name, which is probably the only thing I'm famous for. Yes, I am a CISO here in Louisville, Kentucky. I work for a financial firm, and I first heard about the ILF at DerbyCon, and during the opening keynote when they were talking about ILF, I think I was just absolutely blown away. Just the thought that goes through your mind of, we're a bunch of people who have a very, in the Liam Neeson words, a very particular set of skills. And it really is awesome that we have these skills, but the opportunity to be able to protect children by making use of these skills, no matter what they are, whether they're your social skills as an ambassador, as a somebody in the pit working for ILF, or as a volunteer or anything like that, is absolutely amazing. So I basically followed poor Shane around for like 3 days and bothered him, and then ultimately became an ambassador and a volunteer with the ILF. And I can't help but echo everybody's words that the people that I have met, no matter what their role is with the ILF, are just absolutely amazing people, huge hearts, who want nothing more than to give of themselves to be able to help and protect children. And they give of everything. They give their time, their money, resources, whatever they have, to be able to help. And it's really just a privilege to have the opportunity to be here and be with all of you folks and everything. So really excited for ILFest 2021.
Thank you for those introductions. For those who aren't aware of who I am, my name is Alethe Denis. I am a co-founder of a voice over IP phone service company named Penguin. I'm also a security consultant at a security company based in the Pacific Northwest called Critical Insight, where I do assessments, pen tests, things like that. And I'm above all else in this realm of things, I am extremely pleased to be an ILF ambassador. Some people aren't aware, but the ILF ambassador program came about because I was begging Shane and John Mitchell to give me the opportunity to be involved with the ILF without the commitment and taking on the mental load of volunteering in the pit. So they came up with the ambassador program to give me an opportunity to speak about them and to help share their message and fundraising. And Penguin and I had an extremely successful year last year, raising nearly $10,000 for the ILF through some trainings and things that I did during the course of last year while we were all stuck at home, after the world ended. And this year I have the pleasure of announcing that I will be doing another training, just one this year, in the fall at a conference that is based out of the same area that the ILF is based. And so I'm going to be doing that training once again, the OSINT strategy and tactics training at that conference as a workshop to benefit the ILF and raising money again that way. I found the ILF through SE Village, and I was at DEF CON, and I think they just recently formed the nonprofit, and they had a table in the back with a couple t-shirts and a couple people that were sharing the message. And it just really spoke to me because I myself was a teenager who was a victim of an online predator. And a lot of what happened during the course of those years had a significant impact on my life. I mean, I would be on a different continent if it weren't for that. So it's kind of a cause that's close to my heart. But I wanted to talk to all of you today about what makes you passionate about the ILF and what you guys have been doing in the community. And so feel free to jump in and start sharing what you've been doing around you locally online to help promote ILF's mission and how that's transpired over the last year.
I'll let somebody go first, or I could go first. I'll go first. Well, it was, of course, finally being told that I was worthy of being an ambassador. I came in and immediately hit the ground running. I set up Dead Pixel. I set up a lot of my feeds and a lot of my money that, I always said, hey, when I stream or when I do education, I do 80-20 or 20-80 split. So I keep 20% for, unfortunately, sometimes there's these things called taxes. And then I give 80% of any money that I get from Twitch, any trainings, any of my 1099Ks for books and things that I've ghostwritten, and anything that I get stuff for, I've immediately put into the ILF. So apparently I became a legend overnight. I didn't know that there was qualifiers there, but I became a legend overnight because I just said, I lived without the stuff anyway. Here you go. And then when I immediately did that, and I didn't realize the impact that even a smaller donation, like this made, and the fact that, you could become a legend so quickly. And I was like, oh, well, okay. And, after becoming an ambassador and attending many of these meetings that we have behind the closed doors, just to talk about like what the ILF is doing and how to go out and raise more money and do these things, I started going, man, I did the right thing. And by asking to become an ambassador, usually I was like, it was this one moment of uncomfortableness where I was like, they don't want me. They've got people like Phil and Alethe and all these other really great people. And the minute I asked, they were like, can you talk to us in 10 minutes? And I said, absolutely. And so we chatted, and I joined the ambassador team. And like I said, instantly started being able to help out raise money. Unfortunately, as you can see that I am jerseyless. I bet it showed up while I've been on travel. So it's probably sitting at home. But I did bring my ILF shirt because even though I'm on travel, I have a little miniature key light and camera, and another camera for some reason, and then the laptop here. So, but here we are doing ILFest 2021.
So when you talk about becoming a legend, I wanted to share, there's a hero program that anyone can participate in to donate money to the ILF. This program has different tiers. And when we say becoming a legend, we're talking about, I think it's donating a minimum of $100 a month on a monthly recurring basis. You become a legend with the ILF and you get some really incredible swag. And one of those items that I awkwardly grabbed on camera here is this incredible challenge coin. I've never seen a black challenge coin before, but I had to fight my husband for this one because it's really incredible. It's actually got a cutout for the ILF light that you can actually see through the coin, which is pretty cool. But you get some really neat swag when you become a legend, but you also get to say that you're helping out an incredible cause. And if it's something that you can afford to factor into your budget on a monthly recurring basis, it's a great way to get involved. If you'd like to get involved with ILF, you can absolutely reach out on the website and click the get involved link and fill out that form if it's something that you're interested in doing. I would like to hear about these jerseys. Does anyone have the story they want to share?
So I can jump in on that. So it wasn't that long ago that an awesome D-League hockey team in South Carolina wanted to have us be their team, or name their team after us. So this team, the ILF Heroes, became a thing. All of their jerseys, branding, everything like that. And we're actually going to meet the captain of that team a little bit later in our ambassador stream here, Jake Satcher. If you've been following Innocent Lives, especially for the last 10 days, you know who Jake Satcher is. But Jake has come on board as an ambassador. He is absolutely amazing. Just the most awesome guy you ever want to meet. But one of the things that he did, because all of us as volunteers, as soon as we saw ILF hockey, we were like, okay, we all want jerseys. Everybody wants jerseys. Jersey. We have to get a jersey. And so Jake, after hearing that, went out and got all the volunteers jerseys with their numbers on them, their volunteer number and everything like that. So number 54. And so we all got these awesome presents in the mail. And so we're all, absolutely obsessed with our ILF jerseys. And we're looking forward to the next season of ILF Heroes hockey. I've found out that, so I'm a big hockey fan, and I love to chirp, which is, of course, making fun of the other teams and everything like that. And these are just D-League hockey teams, but I've been like ripping on the other teams in the league. And apparently none of them have Twitter, but somehow they got it and were using it as motivation in their locker room and everything like that. So,
they like in color printed your tweets out and just started sticking them up in the locker
yes.
room.
So I'm pretty proud of my small contribution to ILF Heroes hockey, to get in the heads of their opponents and so on.
That's wonderful.
And everything. But it's an ongoing team, and we're all really excited to be able to be there. It's funny because normally a team gets sponsored, we give them money. This is the first time I think that a team has actually donated money to be a sponsor, which is absolutely,
that's so neat.
I think that's a great way to do it. That's absolutely, And so, but we'll get to meet Jake in a little bit as well. But we're all, super excited about our ILF hockey jerseys.
I didn't know that about the number. I had no idea. That's
everybody,
so awesome.
everybody got their specific number. That's also you see when you become a volunteer or an ambassador or anything like that, your actual number comes on as well. It comes on your coin. Your coin, has your specific number as well on it. And so, it's really awesome treat and nice little personalization there and everything.
Hey everybody, I just want to jump in here real fast.
Sure.
Hear the voice from above, the small little John Mitchell head speaking to you all. So we're having some questions in the chat about giveaways. So I just want to clarify this real fast for everybody. So as you donate, you're going to get $1 per dollar you donate. Or if you're hanging out in chat for longer than an hour, you will start getting $1 an hour for free. Okay. So if you haven't made a donation, you will not have any bucks yet. You'll have to wait until the first hour. Hey, Cheese Whiz won. Nice. If you have made a donation, you will receive ILF bucks. It can take up to 15 minutes though. So please be a little patient. You can check how many bucks you have by typing in !bucks, and it will tell you in chat there. Now, there is a giveaway running. We're giving away 5 vendor swag bags, okay? So to enter the giveaway, first make sure you have bucks, and then all you have to do is do !GA space and put in the amount of bucks you want to use for that giveaway, okay? So let's say you wanted to enter in with $5 to win a vendor swag bag. All you'd have to do is type in !GA space 5. Okay, now it enter you in with $5 for the current raffle. So, yeah, and you can look, Levy there, one of our amazing mods, has put that in there again. That is command GA space, not underscore, not dash, just GA space, and then the bucks. And there you go. And it'll give you resetter. You just got in for $5. So very cool. So that's how the giveaways work. That's how they're going to work all day. So get familiarized with that system, and we'll be announcing the winners as we go. The only other thing to remember, there is a forum when you're making a donation. You have to enter your Twitch username exactly as it appears, or there will be no way for us to find you. So please make sure when you make a donation, you input your exact Twitch username. If you have a typo, reach out to our mods and we can try and figure it out, but please try and make sure it's right the first time. So thank you guys. Sorry for interrupting. Back to you.
No problem at all. I was just about to talk about you, John Mitchell. I think you must have heard it and your ears were burning. But one of my most fun things about being an ambassador is that John Mitchell likes to send me presents without telling me. So I'll just get a box of stuff, and it's like all the latest swag for, that quarter or that year or something. When they get new t-shirts made and want to share those. Like the one that I'm wearing right now under the jersey is the one with the searchlight on the side, which I think is just awesome. And the last time they shipped all the swag for ILFest, they shipped it to a previous address, which included the jersey. So UPS took it to my old office, and luckily we had a neighbor who was an auto window tinting company, and they grabbed it, but it took me like 2 weeks to track it down because I didn't know where it was and they didn't know how to get in touch with us at the new office. And anyway, so it was this giant box of swag, and I think I posted it on Twitter with the little kitten inside of the box, but we finally got it, and it was just like this ridiculous amount of stuff because I think ILF is one of the most generous organizations with those who volunteer and support them, and I always feel like it's too much. Like, I'm trying to help you. Why are you giving me stuff? But it's absolutely wonderful. And it really does help for us to kind of spread the message because, of course I get to tweet about it and wear it everywhere. Like while I'm at Hacker Summer Camp, I don't know if I can wear the jersey. It's a little warm, but I'm going to be wearing t-shirts all over the place. And if you see me, stop me, because please say hello. Remember that you know what I look like and you know my name, but I may not connect the dots on your avatar on Twitter. So introduce yourself and say hi. But I will have stickers, and I will have special stickers from ILF that they've created just for me to give out at DEF CON. They will be limited run, and you will have to find me in person to get those. And their incredible designer, Mandy, put those together specifically for me. I can't wait to get them. I'm going to be sharing what they look like as soon as they arrive. But yes, track me down. I will have ILF stickers along with my own at Hacker Summer Camp. So if you come, please do find me. And I will likely be wearing an ILF t-shirt at the time. So I want to learn more about how, Younie, how you found ILF and what about the mission really spoke to you.
Yeah, sure. So when like I said, when I first heard at DerbyCon, and I think I'm trying to remember now, my memory is shot in my old age, and too much caffeine rattling around in my brain.
Too much caffeine or too much DerbyCon at DerbyCon?
All of the above, yeah. But I can't remember if it was Shane who got up and started talking about the mission of the ILF, but somehow in my mind, like the thought that, you know, that people would give of themselves in that manner and in such a unique way to, you know, so directed at the type of skills that, you know, that we have. And then of course, you know, I'd taken Chris Hadnagy's classes years before, and, you know, I'm a huge Chris fan. So as soon as I found out that, you know, Chris was the CEO and behind it, you know, that was even more of a, you know, an impetus and a motivator for me, because, you know, I just absolutely love Chris, and he's got such a great attitude. He's such a giving guy, and gives of himself so much and so much to the community and so on. And so when I went back to the, you know, the SE Village at DerbyCon there, and really just started, you know, pressing Shane for information, more and more information. And then, you know, Shane and I had a long sit down talk where we talked about what's involved in being in the pit, you know, and being a person who works in the pit is it's a very specific role, you know, and it's not just one of those jobs where it's sort of like, hey, I want to, you know, and for those who don't know what we're talking about, pit is the predator identification team. Those are the people who are, you know, genuinely working directly to identify these predators. And, you know, I really thought to myself, whether or not I was capable to attack from sort of that perspective, or whether or not my, you know, my skills would be better used in more of volunteering and education and outreach and things like that. And so I finally came on as an ambassador, and, you know, got the opportunity also to join as a volunteer with the education and outreach team. And so get to do a lot of work with Mandy and John Mitchell, really working on like our fundraising pages and everything. And of course, working on our Twitter campaigns. I started the DerbyCon Forever t-shirt campaign, which oddly enough, it said it was a 3-week campaign, but the thing just keeps going. So if anybody wants a DerbyCon Forever shirt, just let me know, and we can, you know, you can keep buying them, and the money just keeps going to the ILF. So, you know, I'm gonna leave it up running in perpetuity as well, because I love those shirts, and, you know, they've got DerbyCon all over the back of them, but then of course they have the ILF right down at the bottom to show really who we're supporting and so on. But it's such an important mission, and I don't know if anybody, if any of you all got to attend the National Child Protection Task Force conference just a couple weeks ago, but with, you know, they were nice enough. That's mostly for law enforcement. They were nice enough to invite us from ILF to be able to kind of sit in and hear the presentations. And I mean, when you think about this as a topic, and I don't want to get too dark because I know this is, you know, this is good time, happy fun day. But, you know, in a lot of ways, I'm just like, how are there other crimes that we're worried about? Sometimes, you know, it's like the opportunity and privilege to protect those who aren't able to protect themselves is just, it's a moral obligation. And it's absolutely a privilege to be able to be a part of it. So I absolutely love the ILF, and Alethe, like you said, I mean, it's the greatest organization with the greatest people. It's the most generous to the people who volunteer for it, which is absolutely awesome, because Lord knows I love swag. So, you know,
I think all of us hackers are just total swag nerds. We're like, you can't have any of my information. Oh, stickers? Here's my address.
Yes. And I have a feeling, Chris, I have a feeling Hadnagy social engineered the entire process by being like, look,
absolutely.
if you just keep giving them swag,
just keep giving them crap, they will not leave us alone. Yeah,
they're going to absolutely love it. And so, you know, it's a very smart tactic, because even if we know it, we're still here for the swag, you know. So,
Squid pro quo, Mr. Powers.
Exactly. So clever. Yeah. So yeah, that's, you know, that's kind of my story with the ILF, but I just feel it's such a, you know, not only a moral obligation, but a privilege to be able to participate.
I feel like you bring up a really important point, though, that this is a very dark topic. I mean, the pit does incredible work identifying these online predators, and then of course that information is forwarded on to law enforcement. So I think it's clear to make it known that there's no vigilantism within the ILF. This is all passive information gathering, And then that information is then given to law enforcement agencies that are specifically partnered with the ILF and handled from that point on by law enforcement, to pursue those cases and pursue those predators and hopefully take them off of the streets / internet / world. But it is a very dark topic. And I think one of the reasons why I have kind of decided not to participate in the pit is because I'm a mother of 4 small children. And right now I don't feel that my mental capacity could, cope with the burden of seeing things and learning things and knowing things that would make me look at my own kids differently and probably like lock them up in the house for all of eternity, honestly, with no internet and
back under the
like,
stairs,
the forest, and go completely off the grid. Like, there are
Yeah.
some incredibly scary, depressing, dark stories out there. And I love that the ILF understands and acknowledges that and has somebody full-time on staff, Aaron, to assist with volunteers and staff members alike to cope with those things and to keep their mental health, top of mind. And it's just wonderful that that's being acknowledged, because like you said, I participated in that conference. I heard stories and active case stories that just completely blew my mind. And it's wonderful, I think, that ILF kind of gets ahead of that. We're in, like, there's the education phase, and ILF is doing more education and outreach that will help young people to avoid, entrapment or ensnarement by these predators. And then there's identifying the actual predators, which is, middle of the story, and then hopefully prevention from having those individuals impact any other children in the future. And then there's other organizations that have to cope and deal with, active cases and what law enforcement does to stop these things. And I love that ILF is tackling both the beginning of the story and the middle of the story, and that we have partnerships with law enforcement to take on the most difficult aspect of actually removing these people from society. But it is a very dark topic. And I think that things like ILFest and the swag and just the camaraderie on the ILF team and how people engage with each other and try to focus on, the light on the edge of this cloud, I think that that's really wonderful and something that really drew me to ILF. And I know that Phillip, you, I think, were the second ambassador to join the ambassador team. And I think that's probably something that really drew you to this organization was just the fact that ILF really does shine light wherever it goes.
Yes. And part of the reason it was a big interest to me, my daughter's grown now, almost 30 years old, but just knowing that children need to be protected. And, kind of before I found out about ILF, I did like I would do t-shirt fundraisers for Pwn School as a way to offer my t-shirts and give the profits to a charity. And at first it was for WISP, Women Information and Security Privacy, that Rachel Toback was doing fundraisers for. And I did the first t-shirt fundraiser about that. And I heard at a conference about ILF, or she had mentioned it in a webinar or something. I totally forgot. And then once I found out again what it was, then I put all my efforts into that organization for my charitable type of efforts. And it's been a good experience. One of the things I have to say too, that I want anyone to know that's an ambassador, that if you're feeling down yourself, don't feel like you're making that much money or that much of an impact. I was pretty down on myself because last year, with the pandemic, people just didn't have the money to donate. And it was funny, about February or so, I found out about a large donation that came in because of awareness. I did a hoodie fundraiser, and this person purchased one of the hoodies and made this large donation. And I felt like I'm not making an impact, but, really goes down to it. It's the influence, it's the awareness that you're bringing to ILF that helps. So that is huge. If your fundraisers aren't making it much, you're getting the word out there. People are finding out about it. There's one of my Pwn School co-host is a volunteer for ILF now. So he found out about Innocent Lives through me, and then other people have wanted to get involved. So awareness is a huge thing. Sometimes you may not see the money, but you figure if you influence several people to help raise money, that multiplies.
And Phil, I don't think that there could possibly be a better segue into what I was about to say. You just set me up perfectly. You're right. It's all about awareness. And so many of you are aware that we just had something ridiculous happen in the last 11 days on our Twitter. So it took the ILF nearly 4 years since its inception to get up to like 4,500 followers on Twitter, right? And we were thrilled. We're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna hit 5,000 by ILFest. That's amazing. But then one of our newest ambassadors did something incredible. So we actually have a surprise guest for you guys. We're gonna bring him on. Our newest ambassador. His name is Jake Satcher. He's the mastermind behind the jerseys and all of the amazing hockey stuff that we've got going on. And he's going to come on and tell the story of the insanity that just happened on Twitter, how that all got started, and what's going on with that. So if we could please get Jake sent into the live room, that would be fantastic. And he can tell his story.
While Jake's getting in here, one of the quotes that I use in my ILF Hero program, because there's this like little bio area, and quotes and stuff, and everybody's kind of Jonathan said it, Younie said it, and Phil said it, Alethe has kind of said it, and they're all of their own ways, but the way I said it is it's not easy, but it's the right thing, and I fully believe that, and I'm really glad that all my ambassadors here ultimately embody that too, because it's not easy, but it's the right thing.
All right, awesome. Thank you guys so much. And wow, first of all, I'd like to appreciate the hype train that we have going on all the way up to level 5. The amount of subs that have just flown in the last 20 minutes is ridiculous, which is incredible. So thank you guys for all of that. I'm subbing now, which is cool. Someone gifted me a sub. And so now we've got Jake Sacheron in the coolest jersey of them all, the captain's jersey. So Jake, can you give us a little introduction and talk about what happened this last week and a half on Twitter and all that craziness?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, guys. This is absolutely the definition of imposter syndrome right here. Being live on stream with these absolute rock stars. I first found out about ILF because Phillip sold me a hoodie a couple of years back through one of his Pwn School project fundraisers, and so we got introduced to the ILF, and through some events, got close to Shane and John Mitchell and Chris, and I reached out, about the hockey team, kind of like what Younie touched on earlier, because I thought it would just be a really cool thing, right, to promote the organization in our little small corner of South Carolina, and noticed on Twitter when I became an ambassador that the Twitter count had been hovering around 4,600, and there was a push, a giveaway of a swag bag for at 5,000 followers. So I kind of pushed that. I have to point out, when I started this insanity, I had zero clout on Twitter at all. I think I had 36 followers. So I managed somehow to get Heath Adams, the cyber mentor, everybody knows who he is, to retweet it, and that sort of pushed us over the 5,000 mark. And in one of the Slack channels, I almost jokingly asked, well, what about 10K before ILFest? And Shane said, well, why not? And I said, okay, challenge accepted. So the strategy was very, very, very simple. And that was to use and abuse Heath Adams for all he was worth. No, I'm just kidding.
That's always a strategy. It's always a winning strategy too.
And it just sort of became this community sourced dog pile snowball of awesomeness, where people I have never talked to, the willingness of pretty big influencers in the Twitter community, Gab Smash, Katie Masaurus, man, I can't even, I'm going to miss some names and feel awful. Alyssa, people with 30K plus followers willing to retweet for us. got a hold of Tanya Jenka, who I really respect. She's kind of in that purple team space. She donated a couple of her new courses. She just rolled out with an academy and donated a couple of her courses. And then, I picked up some books off Amazon that I thought that I could throw in. And we ended up with 172 prizes to give away. Through what was a crazy idea and a lot of help from an amazing community, and just being a part of it. It's almost like the meme I saw of Alethe this morning, where you light the match, set the house on fire, and smile in the background. It's pretty phenomenal.
I didn't even have my contacts in yet, and I woke up to those notifications and I was like, what is happening? Oh. Oh, it was fantastic. I watched this campaign just go completely viral with those in our community who support ILF. And I just learned this morning that you crossed the 10K mark, and I think it's up to like 10.2. It's phenomenal. What was the starting number of followers when this became a thing before the 5,000 mark?
So that's a great question. I'll hop in there for a minute to answer that one. So that we had like 4,300. We had like 4,300 a few weeks back, right? And we're like, this would be a great push for ILFest. Let's get to 5,000. We'll do a small giveaway an ILFest swag bag, and it blew up from there, right?
To give you an idea, it took me like, no kidding, 8 years to get from square one to about 10K followers. And half of that came out of all the nonsense that came out of the Black Badge and DEF CON. So for this team, and Jake especially, I mean, I have to give you, I used to be a social media manager for like 4.5 minutes. So I know how difficult this was. Like, this is nuts. And we're not talking about buying followers. We're talking about organically growing this Twitter account with real humans clicking the follow button. That's phenomenal. Like, I'm completely floored.
We have the greatest community of supporters that we could possibly ask
incredible.
for. And those same supporters are still going ballistic and subscribing and gifting subscriptions and everything. It's out of control.
I'm waiting for somebody to beat my subscription, my gift number, so I can then beat them again.
Yeah.
So I give us a quick update as we're rounding out the first, almost our first hour already. So we have raised already over $1,300 since it started, bringing our total up to $17,646, which is incredible. So we're almost at that 20K mark. We're almost there to get to pick the next ingredient for the sandwich of suffering. Quick update on that. Here's how the sandwich is looking so far. We're going to have a nice, thin, square, bread-like base of pineapple pizza, likely from Domino's.
Ooh,
We're going to be putting on the collard greens as what the people wanted for our greens selection. And finally, the cheese component, thank God, Cheese Whiz. So... things are going great. This is going to be phenomenal.
Chris, I'm so sorry.
It
already sounds amazing.
It just sounds messy. Delicious.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a disgusting, sloppy mess. So
I feel horrible for doing this to Chris. Just side note. But
that's for the kids.
I also delight in it.
Yeah. It's for the kids. It's all good. And we love Chris. We do. As far as the giveaway goes, I've seen some more questions about giveaways for people joining. You need bucks to enter the giveaway. For every hour you're on stream, you will get one. For every $1 you donate with the appropriate link, you will get one. You can then use them by doing !GA space the amount of tickets you want to enter. If anyone has any tickets they want left to use, please use them now. We're going to be closing this giveaway in 5 minutes and drawing the winners for the first 5 swag bags. So I'm going to give all of our lovely ambassadors a 5-minute warning. I'm going to disappear, and then I'm going to come back, and we're going to keep rolling with the giveaway in the next segment.
I just want to share this real quick, back to what we were talking about with the Twitter account. Shane sent this to all of us in Slack yesterday, but this is a chart of ILF Twitter followers from January of 2020 through yesterday. And I'll see if it'll, oops, I clicked off, but we'll see if it'll come through here or not. But
it's mirrored, but we can definitely see that is a sharp spike.
it just, I mean,
That's
when we got to, we were so excited when we hit that 5,000 mark on June 28th. And the fact that we went from 5,000 to 10,000 in 11 more days is just
ridiculous.
phenomenal.
And, you know, it was a great learning experience for me personally, you know, as a brand new ambassador, the rookie of the squad, so to speak. If the words "my friends Sai and Younie" ever come out of my mouth, you should be terrified of the chaos that is about to ensue.
Absolutely.
Was so the you know, you guys have your jerseys. I've got my one that has the lighthouse, and on the back it says ask me about my superpower. And so I'm wearing that today too, and I thought it'd be funny if randomly, so some of the ambassadors know, I bought a condo in Myrtle Beach. Yeah. And I was thinking about running around the Myrtle Beach boardwalk and seeing if I could corner random strangers and convince them to give me money, or at least give money to the ILF in that manner, either through me or directly themselves. So if I get anybody to do it today while I'm running around the town here, I will be glad to record, if they're okay with it being recorded, of course, and then put them up on Twitter. So run around like a what are those people who used to do that? I guess those old game shows, like, hey, you know, who are you? You know, well, you want to
like
you want to
on the
donate some
street
money?
segment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the on the street guy.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah,
Be
you
on the
go
street.
on the street guy for like the
So,
late night talk show.
if for any chance it happens today, pay attention to my Twitter, because I would be glad to upload that and have a good time with that.
We've got a few people that can retweet it now. So
just a couple. Yeah, I want to also give a shout out to the pit, who, you know, they're doing the work that people like me really just can't. And the time and the skill and the, you know, mental load that they you know, have to deal with, I think is something that really deserves mention. The leader of the pit, I'll just call her by her handle, the pseudo-fed. She actually held my 4-month-old baby for me during the panel at DerbyCon. And she said something to me I don't think I will ever forget. And that was, I'm going to get emotional, but she said, I rarely get to see happy kids. And I think a lot of us really, you know, try to support this mission. And it is about the kids, and it is about preventing kids from, you know, falling into the clutches of these predators and getting them off of the internet. But they're all such a positive and just full of light group of people. And the fact that they have the pseudo-fed to lead them is wonderful. And I think that she was one of the people that really talked to me first about ILF. And she and Chris Hagnaghi both, and then introducing me to Shane, is what really pulled me into the mission. Because this is not an organization that raises funds and doesn't accomplish great things. This is an organization that raises funds and goes out there and makes a difference. All of these people are, for the most part, volunteers who give of their time and take the mission seriously. And so you'll notice that ILF is very mission focused, and I love that about this organization. And I'm very honored to be a part of this group with all of you, and spreading awareness is really the goal here. So I would encourage anyone who wants to get involved to get involved. If you don't have the time or other resources to get involved with the ILF, retweet the living heck out of stuff. Share the message, and, you know, follow the brand pages and handles on various social media. Start talking to your family members about the ILF, about their mission. Share ILF resources from the website with parents that you know, so that they can help protect their own children. Because many parents are just oblivious to what their kids can get into online. And by sharing this message, these parents will know where to go when they need information and need help. So that's something else that you can do if you don't want to specifically volunteer or contribute time or money or effort. These are all great ways to get involved, but there are other ways that you can help the mission.
And I think that is a perfect description of everything our ambassadors do for us. So thank you, Alethe, so much. Not only for being our OG ambassador and really getting this thing kicked off and started. It's because of you and Phil that have snowballed into all of these incredible people as part of the team. So we just want to thank you guys so much for everything you do. And I want to take this as an opportunity to make sure everyone sees right down below me. This segment is sponsored by Penguin. That is Alethe's company that does incredible VoIP services. So thank you guys so much for everything you do from a technical aspect for us. And if anyone out there needs VoIP services, you better go to Penguin because they're the bomb and they have the cutest logo in the game. So
That's true.
thank you guys so much for being here and for contributing. And we love you guys. Thank you for everything that you do.
Thanks so much for having us. It's been a
Thank
blast.
you. Yep. We love you guys.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
So you guys will notice in the poll for everybody in the chat, we can now pick the suffering sauce, okay? There are some fantastically terrible options. Wasabi, anchovy paste, and shockingly enough, oyster sauce only has 2 votes. I don't know. I kind of thought oyster sauce would do a little better. It is hard to compete with anchovy paste, though, to be honest with you. That is a pretty tough one to fight against. So make sure you get your votes in for that to see what the suffering sauce is going to be on this incredible, disgusting sandwich, which we are 35% of the way to funding. So thank you guys.